We're pleased to announce that Updata Analytics is now compatible with Python source code. So Python is a growing language that more and more people are using for programming systems, especially in the financial world. So we've had quite a number of people asking more and more, can they enter their Python code into Updata? And that's now really simple to do. And in fact, Updata, this is in the custom coding menu in all versions of Updata Home, Professional, and Enterprise. Updata has a whole series of codes already pre-written in libraries. So we have in the custom coding library, we have a custom indicator section. So this has got thousands, well, hundreds of systems here. There's over 1,000 pre-written indicators and trading systems in Updata, and here we see the custom coded indicators, and you can actually search these libraries for any variant of these you want. And you'll notice now there'll be a growing number of Python systems in the library as well. And that also applies to the system testing area. And the main difference between custom coding and system testing is that system testing actually allows you to enter buy and sell criteria, and of course then push through to trading. So Update is compatible. It has its own simple language. So here's a simple moving average, for example, and in an Updata code that's really straightforward because it's just you call a moving average command. We've got a whole series of pre-written indicators, and you'll see that these are all here. So Bollinger Bands, for example, MACD, these are all pre-written, so you don't have to go and write the code for these. These are technical analysis indicators that you can just call, and the syntax, you just hover over them and you'll see the syntax for them. And of course there's lots of these pre-written which you can reverse engineer in the libraries. So the Updata language makes use of those, and if I want to go and then draw the chart, and here of course Updata runs on multiple data sources. Here I'm going to use Bitcoin data from GDAX, which is our latest integration, and because you've got the parameter here for the period, it's offering you that as a text, and there is the moving average just simply put on the chart. Update is also compatible with Visual Basic, and you'll find some Visual Basic examples in our library, but a lot of people program in Visual Basic, of course. Here is the Visual Basic for a moving average. A little bit more programming required here, of course, because you can't call the pre-written function for moving average. You have to write the code for that yourselves, and for a lot of programmers that's no bother at all, but a lot of people like the ability just to call the code. And again, because there's a parameter in the code, now we have the moving average written in Visual Basic. So also in the Updata code editor you could also do C#, and here we see the language for C#. And again, that's instead of calling the function, you have to write the indicator yourselves, and it's pulled out that moving average. And you'll notice that these three charts all match, same levels on the charts. It's the beauty of it. Now this is the Python code, and this is calling Python, and it actually calls a library where we have a whole series of pre-written functions in Python, so you can just call these functions like line styles, the tool type, etc. And so that does mean that you can save quite a lot of code writing, and it allows it to be into Updata. So here we see the code for Python. Again, I click the chart, I'll do it on the Bitcoin, and it's offering me that 20 period, and then it's gone and drawn the moving average. So we're seeing here that we've got the same indicator on all four charts, all written in different languages. So that's the flexibility of Updata, is that ability to do that. And of course, you can then apply it on lots of different other data sources. So here I've got Thomson Reuters Icon. It could be Bloomberg, could be a whole series of data sets that you can use in Updata Metastock. The sky is the limit. Of course, Updata is compatible with a whole series of different indicators, market terminals, trading platforms, data feeds. And so this allows you to use these tools out of the box. So straight away you can apply your code to pre-written feeds and then get the visual output of the charts. So I can go one step further. Let's have a look at a system test in Python. So I can go and look in the library first of all. So if I go and look under Python code, we've got one here for Bollinger Band. I can then go and just see what that looks like on the code, and then I say, okay, I'll take that, download that system. So it's downloaded it from the library, and now I can go and run that one. So here is the Bollinger Band system written for me, and you see it's a Python file. So I grab that code, and here it is now for Bollinger Bands. And so the code doesn't mean a lot to me because I don't program in Python, but of course if you want to start learning programming in Python, the Updata editor is a great place to play around with that, and you don't have to write compatibility to data feeds or lots of charting output. It's just focus on the code. And also more and more people will, you'll see more and more Python code appearing in our libraries, and us importing standard Python libraries. So more and more of these libraries are becoming available, and we'll import them, which will make them available to people. But if you've already got Python programming code that you've written, this is the perfect way for you to then test it on lots of different data sources. So here is the source code for this test on Bollinger Bands with Python. Again, I don't fully understand the code. I can see here that these are the variables, and that's where I could change them. And I can just go and run the test. So if I run the test, next, it's offering me Bitcoin. I can just take that from the feed, run the test, and here we see these are all the trades, the individual results. And then I go to the chart, and so basically what it's done is it's bought and sold on these on each move up through the Bollinger Band. Now what I could do is I could optimize the parameters, and if I do that, so I'll just do a quick optimization. I can say, okay, why don't I see which period is best? I'm not going to bother changing the standard deviation. If I go to a period of say 5 to 40, run that with I'll run that. Actually, I'll do it with a period of 1. So it's got to test every Bollinger Band period between 1 and 40. Sorry, 5 and 40 with a step of 1. And here it's telling me 17, 9, 5, 13. Lots of different ones here. And so I can just take that first one, draw the chart, and that's now the optimization showing through. So if you're coding in Python, this is the perfect place to really have a play with Updata. You can apply that code. You'll see more and more Python code appearing in our libraries, and of course you can program yourself and apply it to all the different feeds that Updata runs on. So if you're programming in Python or want to get into programming in Python, it's a very simple language to learn. This is really the future for financial programming, and it's a good place to start. And now you can do it within the Updata system. So why not download a trial and give it a try?